A little baby brand new flight instructor reached out to me on TikTok and asked me this. I'm a new CFI and I haven't taken any students yet, but I'm about to. I was wondering if you have any advice as far as nerves when you started to actually teach others, or if what I'm feeling is not normal. It is. We'll talk about it. It's normal. So here's what I had to say. I will tell you all about it. If you're a new CFI or if you're thinking about becoming a flight instructor, you're gonna feel this way. If you're new here, I'm Carly. I'm an independent flight instructor in Tennessee. I teach people how to fly airplanes from zero experience. I teach online and in person. So let's go right into how to gain confidence as a brand new instructor. You are the one in charge now. You're supposed to be able to tell people exactly what to do and how to do it, but admittedly, when you are fresh out of CFI school and you have, depending on what type of school you went to, you may have between 200 and 300 flight hours, you may not feel like you are fully equipped to teach people who know nothing about airplanes everything that they need to become a pilot. But you do. You do. You just have to get confident about it. So here's what I told them. I'm just going to tell it to you because you just need to hear it sometimes. From personal experience, it's going to take you 5 to 10 flight hours to start to get comfortable with this feeling of, I am in authority here. To the person that's sitting in the left seat, I am the one that has all of the knowledge and experience in the world. Like right now, I'm at the top of the food chain. But when you first sit down for your first flight lesson, man, I was so nervous for mine. I felt like this guy is gonna see right through me. I even told him beforehand, like, full disclosure, I'm really new at this. So he thankfully had already done my very, very first student ever. He had done probably 20 hours already in a different airplane with a different instructor and had taken a couple years off of his training. So he came to me looking to get restarted. But even so, even though I wasn't teaching someone who had never been in an airplane before, I still could not shake this feeling like, I'm not gonna be able to answer every single question he has. I'm not gonna be able to, like, how do I communicate to him things that are just becoming natural to me now? Like, how do you teach somebody how to land? So all of that was going through my head, but I can tell you now that confidence does just come with time and experience. And it may not take you 5 to 10 hours. Maybe you hop in the plane first or second flight and you're like, I got this, I can do this. Honestly, I think after you've taught your first or second lesson, you're gonna already start feeling like you kind of are getting a feel for it, but it's not really gonna take hold until you've made it a little bit further along. Maybe it's your first check ride sign off even that you start feeling like, okay, I've got a system, I can for sure do this. I just think it is really important to remember that even if you feel like you are a fraud, like you don't belong here, you do. The FAA says that you do. They signed you off and made you a flight instructor. You passed the check rides, but your student is already going to see you as someone with experience. I remember one of my first instructors, it was my second instructor that I ever had. I worked with him for instrument and then again in commercial. I asked him early on in my training with him how many flight hours he had, and I think he might have had 400, like maybe not even that much. And I was like, wow, this guy has so much time. He knows so much, and like 400 hours is not a lot of time, but in the grand scheme of things, you know. But at the time I was like, this guy knows his stuff. Like, holy cow, 400 hours, I have 3. So that's just the perspective that you got to put it in. It's like the person that is learning from you, you may not be a million steps ahead, but you are enough steps ahead that you know a lot more than this person. They are paying to learn from you. So just keep reminding yourself that it's gonna get better. It's gonna get easier the more you do it. I also want to point out that it is more than okay to be honest with your students. Not like, I'm freaked out right now, I don't know what I'm doing. Don't say that, because that makes everybody freak out. But you can be honest with them in the sense that if they ask you a question and you're either not 100% sure of the answer, or you will find that private pilots especially will ask you some off-the-wall stuff sometimes about like jet engines, and you're like, I don't know anything about jet engines. They might ask you something that is just not in your wheelhouse of knowledge, or they may ask you something that you know you should know, but you've just forgotten it, or you're not like 100% confident, but you're pretty sure. Don't just pull an answer out of thin air. Tell them, that's a great question. I'm not positive and I want to give you good information, so I'm going to find an answer and get back to you. They will so appreciate and respect you for being honest about that, for not just making something up or giving them an answer that you're not fully confident in, because ultimately they're relying on your knowledge to help them become pilots, to help them pass the check ride. So they are going to trust and respect you so much more if they know that you take time and put thought into what you're teaching them. Then they know that they can trust the information that you give. That student-instructor bond is really important. So protecting it at all costs. Be honest if you don't know something. It's gonna be great. You're gonna be fine. So this person, actually, I opened up this message so that I could read their question to you, but I missed that they actually responded a couple days ago, and they just said, thank you so much. It really helped calm my nerves and put things into perspective. So I hope that's how you're feeling right now. I hope that even if you're not at the CFI level, I know when I was a student pilot, private pilot, I just couldn't get past the thought that I don't know how I'm ever going to know enough to teach this to somebody else. I don't know how I'm ever going to be confident enough and knowledgeable enough to become a flight instructor. But here I am. It's possible. Honestly, if I can do it, you can do it, because I was an art major. I avoided science and math classes like the plague, but now I teach science concepts to other people. So rest assured that if you are someone who has the desire to teach, to become an instructor, just keep going, keep putting one foot in front of the other. It'll come together with time and with experience. As always, thank you so much for watching. I put out new videos every single Tuesday. Comment below what you would like to see from me next, or what questions you have about flight training, about even becoming an independent CFI. I kind of want to start integrating more of how I run my business as an independent CFI, so I would love to talk about that if that's interesting to you. Also, be sure to like this video, share it with a friend if you think they would enjoy it, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any updates, and I will see you in the next one.